shadow work session. This is kind of like the first time that we've ever done something like this. So to get us started, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull a couple of cards for the collective, kind of to show you how this works. And as you are watching, feel free to comment, and I would love to pull some of these shadow cards for you so that we can do this shadow work live. If you like this type of content, please remember to give me a thumbs up and to subscribe to my channel, as I do go live pretty often to do readings and healings for the collective. Also, please make sure to check out Witch Works Healing Ministry, as they are the ones who taught me this wonderful method of healing in this process. So much blessings, thanks, and gratitude to them. So to get us started, we're going to just pull, I'm going to pull 3 cards for the collective. And these are the 3 biggest shadows or things that we need to witness as a collective to create healing and change in our communities. And so the first card is the deepest issue. That's the root. Okay. Then we've got second issue. Then we've got the issue that's all the way on the top. Okay. So at the root of our issues for the collective, for this particular reading, we have the mediator shadow. And so the light attribute of the mediator is the ability basically to mediate, to fairly negotiate, and to have justice, basically, to be able to listen to all sides of an argument. While the shadow attribute is negotiating with an ulterior motive or a hidden agenda, either personally or professionally. So as a society, as a collective, we need to come together to strive for authenticity, both in our communications and in the communications that we, push off for the rest of the universe, really. While we're creating content, while we're posting online, while we're interacting with each other, we're always needing to be authentic with ourselves, because that creates the energy of change, of alignment. And I really believe it deepens your connection to yourself and to your spirit and your intuition, your higher self. The next shadow that we will look at is the shadow of the Fool. And the light attribute of the Fool is like being able to laugh and point out hypocrisy, is basically not taking yourself too seriously. Well, the shadow attribute is using your humor as a mask, right? Who does that? So like every time you're irritated about something, or every time you have to have a really crucial conversation with somebody, you tell a joke and kind of say, oh, haha, it doesn't mean as much as it means right now. And so you're, instead of being authentic and communicating your needs effectively, you kind of brush things off with humor. It's called masking. I do that, definitely. If you don't mask with humor, you're probably masked with something else. So shadow work is a process of taking the mask off, essentially. So the last shadow that we look at is the shapeshifter shadow. And the light attribute of the shapeshifter is being able to basically navigate different levels of consciousness, understanding that everything is in the realm of possibility of healing and of quantum shift, while the shadow attribute is projecting an image that serves any given moment. So again, this is basically, this reading right here for the collective is about tuning into our authenticity. And so what I'm going to do now, after I've done this reading, is I'm going to actually clear the shadow energetically from everybody who is watching this video. And in the meantime, feel free to comment, and I would love to read some shadow cards for you, and then also clear them from your energy. So to get started, we are witnessing the shadow of the mediator, the Fool, and the shapeshifter with the deepest respect, compassion, and understanding, knowing that together as a collective, we can do better, and we will do better in the future, to return these shadows to a state of emptiness and to increase our authenticity and our connection to spirit. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I am grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I am grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I am grateful for this experience. I lost my bell. Huh. We'll use a rattle this time. And by my nature, with my rainbow energy, I automatically transmute any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements that are associated with the mediator shadow, the Fool shadow, and the shapeshifter shadow, and I remove these shadows from the collective. And I do these things by my nature with my own rainbow energy. And I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. And by my nature, with my own rainbow energy, I automatically transmute any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements associated with the mediator shadow, the Fool shadow, and the shapeshifter shadow, and I quantumly disentangle these shadows from our energies as a collective. and clear and cancel across all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions into a boundary of light, back to source to be received, upcycled, recycled, transmuted, and returned to love. So mote it be, and so it is. So that was our first clearing for the collective. And I see I've got a couple of comments here. So Brittany commented, hi, Brittany, and Barbara commented, and Crystal commented. So I'll go ahead and I'll pull some shadow cards for Brittany. Thank you for being the first commenter. You're amazing. And anybody else, if you would like cards, just tell me that in the comments, and I will clear signatures for you guys as well. So Brittany, this is the root of the things that you're experiencing right now. We've got the warrior shadow. This is kind of one of the ones that's pretty deep, the mentor shadow. And then this is one of the surface level shadows. And so these are just the three biggest shadows that you should be working on or clearing in this moment and witnessing. So we'll talk about these shadows now. Okay, so the deepest shadow, right, the root of the shadow is the warrior card. So the strength of the warrior is having skill, discipline, toughness. Frank Diaz says something very important about the warrior. He says warriors are not basically powerful because of their ability to kill or commit violence. Warriors are powerful because of their fierceness and their ability to protect peace. So this is embodying the light attribute of the warrior as somebody who is a protector of peace, not necessarily somebody who is violent. I think that media and movies gives us this obscure version of what a warrior should be, and a warrior is a peaceful person. So the shadow attribute of the warrior is trading ethical principles for victory at any cost. So how many of us were taught throughout our lives to just keep pushing forward no matter what your body says, no matter what your friends say, no matter what your physical or emotional or energetic limitations are? We're always taught to just push forward. So at the root of your issues, you need to learn how to rest and how to act in authenticity with your actions. So not giving too much to other people, not overexerting yourself in the things that you are pursuing, but acting in good balance. That is the true path of the warrior, being disciplined enough to listen to your own intuition and follow your own balance. And so I'm witnessing that shadow. The other shadows we have here are the mentor and the prince. So the mentor is basically the inability for a master or teachers in your life to recognize your own personal power and basically to allow you to unfold. The goal in any kind of relationship where you're learning from somebody else is so that eventually you don't need them. Like masters and teachers and people who are in your circle to give you validation or direction or guidance are not there so that they're permanent fixtures of like a hierarchy of power in your life. They're only there to kind of point you along the way or to help give you direction. So understand that as well, that perhaps people or your ancestors or people in your family have been hurt by people who have had imbalanced mentor type, situations or relationships where they put that power above, basically the common good. And then the last shadow is the prince, which is using your own self-power for to make yourself seem like you're better than what you actually are. And so I think that's something that I do often. And it's something that other people do to us probably unconsciously. So that can hurt us and wound us. And if not you, then it has hurt people in your family, and that has negatively affected you by default and association. So I'm witnessing the shadows of the warrior, the mentor, and the prince with love, compassion, alignment, and understanding to know that we can do better in the future and to return these shadows to a state of emptiness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I am grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I am grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I am grateful for this experience. And invoking my own rainbow energy, I command and demand any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements associated with the warrior shadow, the mentor shadow, and the prince shadow to be brought to a state of emptiness and to be removed from Brittany's energy field and from our collective energy fields. I hereby quantumly disentangle all of our collective energy fields, clear and cancel across all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions, because I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. And by my nature, with my own rainbow energy, I automatically transmute any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements associated with the warrior shadow, the mentor shadow, and the prince shadow, and I quantumly disentangle these from Brittany's infinite energy fields and from our energy fields as a collective. Clear and cancel across all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions into a boundary of light, back to source to be received, upcycled, recycled, transmuted, and returned to love. So mote it be, and so it is. Thank you, Brittany. My ears got hot when I did that one. That was a lot of energy to clear. Okay, let's see. Thank you guys for sticking around in the chat. I appreciate you. Let's go ahead and read. I'll pull a couple cards for you, Tammy, and then we'll read for Crystal as well. Anybody else who would benefit from this shadow work, feel free to leave a comment, and I'll drop you a card or two, a couple. We'll see. And make sure to share this feed with your friends. I'm hoping that in the future I can do Throat Punch Thursday intuitive readings on Thursday nights, and also include a shadow work session. Hopefully we'll do it weekly or maybe every other week or something. We'll see how this works out. But I really enjoy doing this. As I heal and facilitate for you, I am healing and facilitating for myself. So Tammy, we'll pull some cards now for you. So at the root of your issues, what you should be focusing on right now is the hedonist. Shelly, we're doing shadow work readings tonight and shadow work clearing. So I'm going to energetically clear people's shadows from their energy bodies and from their quantum timelines so that you can align to the best and highest timeline with ease and with ease and without density. So if you would like to get energy clearing, feel free to comment, Shelly. Okay, Tammy, we've got these three things. These, like my alarms went off, Tammy, and this is like, to me, like narcissism energy. So I don't know if you've had narcissists in your life or if somebody in your life has had narcissist energies and that like has created density or, trauma or struggle in your life. But this is like hardcore narcissist energy. So those are the things that I would be focusing on right now, just based off of these small signatures that I pulled, looking at areas in your life where you have experienced narcissism or where other people have cast that shadow over you and have created, density or unhealedness in your life. Thank you, Angie, for commenting. And Tammy said she did have a marriage, a pretty long-term marriage with somebody who was a narcissist. So that I would be looking at healing those experiences right now. So at the root of these issues is the hedonist shadow. And the hedonist is shadow attribute is pursuing pleasure to the detriment of your health. So, being in balance with the things that you're doing, whether that's actions or, taking drugs or alcohol or overworking yourself, but pursuing pleasure to the detriment of your health and indulging at the expense of others. So that's a pretty deep shadow, Tammy, and that's the root of what we're looking at. The second shadow is the vampire shadow, which almost always is like narcissist, but that is depleting others for your own psychic survival and chronic complaining and codependency. So these are things that we all need to look out for in ourselves. Where am I codependent in my life? And where have I experienced codependency and neediness and pity and that kind of energy from other people? Where has that wounded me? Or, like I said, this could be wounds that your family pick up. Maybe your mother or your father, they were hurt by people who were narcissists, and that in turn hurt you. And then finally, the last one is Don Juan, which is why I was thinking this was like a romantic relationship. But Don Juan is using the power of romantic attraction for private agendas. So a lot of times narcissists have like charismatic energies, and that can really create a lot of density. So we're going to go ahead and clear these shadows now. I'm witnessing the shadows, Tammy, for you. The hedonist, the vampire, and Don Juan, with respect, kindness, compassion, understanding, to know that we can heal and do better in the future and return these shadows to a state of emptiness. Ooh, the door closed somewhere else, and that scared me. I'm clearing shadows, and it's like, boom, things are clearing in real life. Ooh. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I am grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I am grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I am grateful for this experience. And invoking my own rainbow energy, I command and demand any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements associated with the hedonist, the vampire, or the Don Juan shadow to be removed from Tammy's infinite energy fields and all of our collective energy fields. Clear and cancel across all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions, because I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. And by my nature, with my own rainbow energy, I automatically transmute any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements associated with the hedonist, the vampire, and the Don Juan shadow from Tammy's infinite energy fields and from the collective fields of our collective and of our viewers watching, and clear and cancel this across all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions into a boundary of light, back to source to be received, upcycled, recycled, transmuted, and returned to love. So mote it be, and so it is. Thank you so much, Tammy. I hope that that was helpful. Let's see. Liam's commented. Thank you so much, Liam's. And Tammy said generational traumas. Yeah, definitely. Chris commented. Thank you, Chris. Caitlin. Thank you, Caitlin. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to read for... we'll read for Crystal because she commented and I said I would read for her, but thank you all for tuning in and watching. After I get done Crystal's reading, feel free to comment again and I will read for the next person. But thank you guys so much. I have to make sure that my all my devices are plugged in. Well, let's go ahead, Crystal. This is the root issue. Visionary, that's a good one. The visionary comes up a lot with people who are innovators, and they are basically like innovating their own way of life. Oh, hedonist comes up again. Okay, and this is the top level shadow, Crystal. Oh, upside down. Okay, so Crystal, at the root, like what I would be focusing on right now is your vision, your dreams. Like, what dreams do you have? Did you have any dreams when you were like a little kid where you wanted to change the world or you wanted to do this particular job or career? I would really revisit your dreams right now and revisit the fact that people in your experience basically have told you, because of their own shadows and traumas, that you should not follow your dreams, that you should not look at your visions. The shadow attribute of the visionary is selling insights to the highest bidder and compromising your vision to make it more acceptable. So this is all about watering yourself down, basically to make yourself acceptable to society. And I will tell you what, Crystal, and everybody else watching, the way to make yourself acceptable to society is to make yourself authentic. When you are authentically you embody who you really are, your energy to the max, everything comes into alignment for you. The things that you're attracting, the visions, the dreams that you want to bring into reality to help yourself and the community, everything comes into alignment with your own authenticity. But it's difficult to be authentic because we live in this society where a bunch of people tell us that our authenticity is painful to them or that it's not acceptable, again with that word. The second shadow that we're going to look at is the hedonist, which again is pursuing pleasure to the detriment of your health and indulging at other people's expenses. So where have you been hurt by people who have basically put their needs above you and totally neglected what you need? And is this at all connected to your life as a visionary, your life as somebody who is a healer, who is going to revolutionize the way that we take care of people? Is this related? And then finally, the top shadow is the hero. And this is one, hero, heroine. This is the one that we should all be looking at if we are healers or if we are in any kind of care industries. So the shadow attribute of the healer or the heroine and the hero is the escapism and a false sense of heroism. A false sense of heroism. So what that means is, you as a healer, you cannot put on your superhero cape, or in my case, my rebozo. You can't put on your rebozo or your superhero cape and jump into everybody's experience and save them from themselves. You cannot be a savior. Being a hero and a savior is a different thing, right? A hero is somebody who is on a personal journey for self-improvement, and along the way, they help improve and empower everybody else. A hero is somebody, as a shadow attribute anyways, who steps in and tries to steal all the glory and the power and the fame and the recognition for themselves without any real thought of what they're doing. So it's like acting from a place of being unhealed. It's not looking at your shadows and it's like, I'm going to heal everybody without actually caring about other people's problems and neglecting to look at your own. Youch, that one hurts me because I know that that was a big motivator for me getting into like doula work. And it's definitely something that I have revisited again and again over the years. So I'm glad to revisit it again today with you. But Crystal, I am now witnessing the visionary, the hedonist, and the hero, heroine shadow with respect, compassion, understanding, and the ability, the wisdom, the knowledge to know we can do better in the future and move these shadows to a state of emptiness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I am grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I am grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I am grateful for this experience. And by my nature, with my own rainbow energy, I command and demand any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements, but especially those ones associated with the visionary shadow, the hedonist shadow, and the hero heroine shadow, to be removed from Crystal's energy field and from the energy field of our collective. Clear and cancel across all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions. Because I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. And by my nature, with my own rainbow energy, I automatically transmute any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements associated with the visionary shadow, the hedonist shadow, and the hero heroine shadow, and I quantumly disentangle these from Crystal's energy field, her infinite field, and from the infinite fields of the collective. Clear and cancel across all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions into a boundary of light, back to source to be received, upcycled, recycled, transmuted, and returned to love. So mote it be, and so it is. Thank you, Crystal. I hope that that was helpful. So let's scroll and see. Yeah, so Crystal said authenticity has been a main focus for her. So that's definitely a very good reading. I'm glad that that was helpful, Crystal. Let's see. Oh, Angie. Angie just commented. Let's go ahead and read for Angie. Angie, I'm going to shuffle for a second and see what comes up. Hey, actually, one just fell out. So that's the root. That's the root. Okay, so the root is the queen. Hang on, we're going to actually shuffle this time and see what else comes up. All right, we got one card. Oh, upside down. Oh, scribe. Interesting. And one more. Oh, you get the hero heroine as well. Okay, so Shelly, at the kind of like center or the root of your issues, we have the queen shadow. So the light attribute of the queen is being regal, embodying divine feminine, and using your authority and privilege as a benevolence, as a way to protect others, as a way to advocate for others in a wholesome manner. Well, the shadow attribute of the queen is being arrogant with your authority, or when your authority is challenged, and being controlling and demanding. So this could be a pattern that you embody or display, or it could be a pattern that somebody else has embodied and displayed and hurt you with, or they have hurt your family or your ancestors, and that indirectly has hurt you as well. So this is the root of a lot of issues that you're experiencing right now. And the next kind of issue that's layered on top of that is the scribe, which is the light attribute is preserving knowledge and information, while the shadow attribute is altering facts or plagiarizing others' work. So this could be people who have stolen ideas from you or intellectual ideas, and maybe this is coupled with that authority dynamic, and that has caused pain and density in your experience. Well, the last card that we have here is the hero heroine again, and so this is again going at a cause without healing yourself first, and going at it for the wrong reasons. Not, I'm on a personal journey for empowerment and I want to help myself and help the collective. It's more, I'm going to go save everybody and just not pay attention to myself and my own shadows. So it's good to recognize those in your field and in your energy. So I am Angie, recognizing the queen shadow, the scribe shadow, and the hero heroine shadow. I'm witnessing these for you with compassion and respect and knowledge to know that we could do better in the future and return those shadows to a state of emptiness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I am grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I am grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I am grateful for this experience. And by my nature, my rainbow energy, I command and demand any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements, but especially those associated with the queen, the scribe, the hero, and the heroine shadows to be removed from Angie's quantum energy field and from the energy field of the collective. Clear and cancel across all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions. Because I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. And by my nature, it's my own rainbow energy, I command and automatically transmute any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements associated with the queen shadow, the scribe shadow, and the hero heroine shadow to be removed from Angie's infinite fields and from the fields of the collective. Clear and cancel across all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions into a boundary of light, back to source to be received, upcycled, recycled, transmuted, and returned to love. So mote it be, and so it is. Thank you very much, Angie. I hope that that was helpful. Chris Boone, thank you so much for commenting. I'm going to go ahead and read for Shelly. I know she commented before. Just give me another comment when I finish with Shelly, and I would be happy to read from you. Ooh, Shelly. Oops, one of these fell out. So you got the athlete that fell out. That's going to be the root. Okay, Shelly. So we got the athlete as the root. Here's another card, another shadow that's layered on top. Oh, you get the hedonist. Wow, a lot of people are getting that one tonight. Interesting. Okay, and here is one of the upper level or lighter layer shadows, I guess we could say, Angie. Or no, not Angie. This is for Shelly. Okay, Shelly. So the root of these issues is the athlete. The shadow attribute of the athlete is misusing your athletic ability for selfish ends and a false sense of invulnerability and entitlement. So sometimes I see this with people that are like obsessed with exercise or obsessed with really anything. They think, diet culture, that kind of thing. They're obsessed with the way their bodies look, and they think that they can look a certain way if they do certain things. And they feel like, their practice makes them invulnerable. Like, I'm the most healthy, I'm the most strong. And so this could be a pattern that you exhibit or a pattern that other people have exhibited to hurt you with. So like, think a spouse, a partner, it could be even parents, things like that, teachers. So people or you in your experience have been hurt because they cast a shadow of the athlete over you. Now remember, the light attribute of the athlete is dedication to transcending physical limits and surpassing your physical limits, even if you have handicaps or even if you have sicknesses or illnesses. It's always testing the limits and loving and honoring your body as a sacred space for your soul. And then another level shadow that kind of goes over top of that is the hedonist shadow. So of course, the shadow attributes of that is pursuing pleasure to the detriment of your health. So both of these cards are very much in alignment with health. So I have to wonder if something is going on with your health or with the health of somebody who you take care of maybe, or who is in your direct field. And that's causing some density in your life. So we're going to clear that shadow. The next shadow, this is kind of the one that's laying on the top. So a lot of times the ones that are on the top, it's like this happened more recently, or it's something that's kind of, we need to work through this thing before we can get to the root of the issues. You got the shadow of the Don Juan, which is using the power of romantic attraction for private agendas. So this is basically like other people hurting you with their charisma or taking advantage of you in a romantic capacity. So I am witnessing, Shelly, your shadows of athlete, hedonist, and Don Juan with respect, compassion, and understanding, and a knowing that we could do better in the future and return these shadows to a state of emptiness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I am grateful for this experience. And invoking my own rainbow energy, I command and demand any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements associated with the athlete, the hedonist, and the Don Juan shadow to be quantumly disentangled from Shelly's infinite field and from the fields of the collective, clear and cancel across all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions, into a boundary of light, back to source to be received, upcycled, recycled, transmuted, and returned to love. So mote it be, and so it is. Thank you so much, Shelly, and I hope that clearing opens up energy avenues for you and creates healing in your life. Okay, let's check the comments. Oh, Ivy, thank you so much for commenting, Ivy. You're welcome, Shelly. Let's see. So, Cody, I didn't see you comment again, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to work on Caitlin, and then comment again if you're still around on the feed. Chris, thank you for commenting. So I will work on Caitlin, and then I will work on Chris. And then Ivy, if you're still there after I work on Chris, feel free to comment again. So in two shadows. Thank you, Caitlin. Thank you very much. So let's go ahead, Caitlin. I'm going to shuffle these cards. This card is the root of the issues that you're experiencing right now. Wait, I got to shuffle these cards a little bit more. They're just not shuffled enough for my liking. The energy is just off. Let's see. there's a lot of cards too. I think this is an 80 card deck. Okay, so Caitlin, this is the root of your issues. We're going to work on Caitlin, then Chris, and then I think Ivy if you comment again. So Caitlin, you've got child of nature as a root of the shadow. This is like basically what we should be focusing on right now. And then the rebel. And then this is kind of a top layer shadow. All right, Caitlin. So the child of nature is the root issue. This is a tendency to abuse animals or people or the environment. So all of us, every single one of us have been hurt by this nature child shadow because we live in this world that is polluted by industry, by greed, by billionaires, by you name it, by governments even. They cover things up and pollute things and do all kinds of gross stuff. So the pollution and the abuse of the land and the environment, that affects us all of us. It'll affect our children as well. So it is very important and pertinent that we wake up as people of the land and protect the land. So this is something that you should be focusing on. And this might be something that you experienced growing up. Maybe growing up, people were harmful or hurtful to animals or hurtful to the land. And that's something that you grew up watching. I find that children especially are very connected to the land and to nature spirits. And so sometimes if you witness people abusing the land or abusing animals as a kid, that can really deeply affect your energy signature. So that definitely requires us to look into. So if something like that happened in your past, pay special attention to it. But if not, maybe you are being called to do healing for the land. Like I said, we all live here. So this is something that directly affects all of us, but especially you right now, Caitlin. One of these kind of middle shadows is the rebel. The light attribute is challenging the authority to affect social change. So being a rebel can be a good thing. But the shadow attribute of the rebel is rejecting legitimate authority out of anger or being rebellious because you think it's fashionable, like a teenager or something. I feel like we all have that, that streak inside of us as well. So focus on protecting the land, focus on healing the land and healing any areas or energy in your life where you might have witnessed abuse of the land or abuse of animals. And then also move through your anger to learn to accept legitimate authority and continue to question social norms. And then finally, the shadow that's at the top is the shapeshifter shadow. And that is being able to basically navigate different levels of consciousness to maximize your potential, whether that is your energetic potential or your physical potential. While the shadow attribute is basically like switching your energy or switching your words to basically serve agendas and not being authentic to yourself. And so people or your experiences have hurt you or your ancestors based on these signatures. So I am witnessing, Caitlin, the shadow of the nature child, the rebel, and the shapeshifter with respect, kindness, and understanding, and the wisdom to know that we can return these shadows to a state of emptiness and do better in the future. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I am grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I am grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I am grateful for this experience. And invoking my own rainbow energy, I command and demand any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements, but especially those ones associated with the child of nature shadow and with the rebel shadow and with the shapeshifter shadow, to be quantumly disentangled from Caitlin's infinite energy field and from the energy field of the collective, because I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. And by my nature, with my own rainbow energy, I automatically transmute any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements associated with the nature child, the rebel, and the shapeshifter shadows, and quantumly disentangle these from Caitlin's infinite field and from the field of the collective. Clear and cancel across all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions. Into a boundary of light, back to source, to be received, upcycled, recycled, transmuted, and returned to love. So mote it be, and so it is. Thank you so much, Caitlin. I hope that was helpful to you. I know that somebody else commented and then I forgot. There's always so many comments. Oh, Chris Boone. Chris Boone commented. So Chris, I'm going to go ahead and pull, I'm going to pull some shadow signatures for you. Oh, so Caitlin said, as a child, I was so connected to nature and I miss being connected to it now. Yeah, so that might be a call. That might be saying that, your shadow side, basically your unconscious side, is asking you to be more connected with nature, and with that being said, we should all be connected to the idea of healing the land, of reducing pollution, of cleaning up our planet. We only have one planet. Our kids only have one planet. Our grandkids only have one planet. So this is something that's very important to all of us who live on this world. Okay, Chris, we're going to pull some cards for you. We've got, this is the root card. This is the mentor. Okay, we've got the middle card, pioneer. All right, and then the last card is kind of like surface level. Orphan child. Interesting for a surface. Okay, Chris. So the root of your issues right now is the mentor shadow. So the light attribute of the mentor is being able to pass on wisdom and refining students' characters and passing on good knowledge, passing on good medicine. Well, the shadow attribute of the mentor is the inability to allow a student to move on to the role of master and also imparting false instruction. So, Chris, if I was you, I would look at your institutional learning or your experience with learning from mentors and things like that, and have they kind of, through their own ego and through their own hurt, indirectly hurt you? Or has this type of dynamic hurt your experiences? Like, has it hurt your parents or your teachers or people like that? The second issue that we should be looking at is the pioneer shadow, the compulsive need to keep moving on. The pioneer shadow, to me, is a direct effect of colonization. And this is something that we need to be cognizant of. So if your ancestors were colonizers, if that's your ancestral heritage, it's time to look at and clear that colonizer mentality basically from yourself. So instead of always moving on, always accumulating mindlessly, always hurting others or stepping on others to get ahead, we need to think about how can we have power with each other, with the community, with our families, with the people we work with our coworkers, with the people we help to heal. How can we be in power with them and not in power over them? So if you ever, shadow work tips, right? If you ever have this feeling that you need to have power over somebody or you need to take something from them, that's colonizer mentality. And that's something we need to eradicate within all of us. Even if you are your heritage is people who are colonized, you need to look for colonizer shadow within you, because all of us living on this colonized planet are wounded by the colonizer shadows. That's what we should be looking at with the pioneer shadow, Chris. And then the shadow that's more surface level that we need to look at before we get to the root is the orphan child. So the shadow attribute of the orphan child is feelings of abandonment that stifle maturation and seeking inappropriate surrogate families. So that means that if you feel abandoned, you don't feel safe to move forward, then sometimes your growth is stunted. You're not able to level up to the next area of awareness or to actually do what you're meant to do. Like, in other words, you can't follow your life path because you're afraid that nobody will support you. You're like, I won't write that book or whatever, do that project because nobody's gonna care about it anyways. And that abandonment and kind of like entitled attitude is like blocking you from your magic. Or this has happened to people in your experience, your parents or your family members, your teachers, and that has directly affected you through the teachings and the energy that they passed on to you. And so also this is important right here, seeking inappropriate surrogate families. This is basically like when you have unhealed relationships, with your brother, your sister, your mother, your father, your aunt, your uncle, your grandpa, and then you seek those energies in healed versions of other people. And if you are not careful, you seek more unhealed versions and people to pass on lessons instead of healed, co-creative energy of awareness and of healing. So this is important, that if you don't heal your shadows, if you don't recognize the density and the energies that are within your own unconscious mind and energy, you continue to repeat those cycles unknowingly until you make that unconscious conscious. So, Chris, I am witnessing the mentor, the pioneer, and the orphan child with respect and compassion, knowing that we can do better in the future and return these shadows to a state of emptiness. Anna, I would love to read for you. I think I'm going to read for Ivy next, though. But I am witnessing these shadows, and we are going to return them to a state of emptiness, Chris. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I am grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I am grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I am grateful for this experience. And invoking my own rainbow energy, I command and demand any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements, but especially those ones associated with the mentor, the pioneer, and the orphan child, to be quantumly disentangled from Chris's energy field and from the energy field of the collective, because I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. And by my nature, with my own rainbow energy, I automatically transmute any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements associated with the mentor shadow, the pioneer shadow, and the orphan child shadow, to be quantumly disentangled from Chris's energy field and from the energy field of the collective. Clear and cancel across all lifetimes, timelines, and connections into a boundary of light, back to source, to be received, upcycled, recycled, transmuted, and returned to love. So mote it be, and so it is. Thank you very much, Chris. I hope that that's helpful. Ivy, if you're still there, bear with me. Cody commented for a while. I'm gonna read for Cody, and then Ivy, I promise I will read for you. Kay Morales is commenting on YouTube. I'm not really doing like intuitive readings tonight. I'm doing shadow work readings, and I am actually clearing shadows, like doing live shadow work with the viewers. So I can pull shadow cards for you and clear that energy. That would be great. We're going to go ahead and read for Cody and then Ivy. And thank you so much for commenting. I'm going to read for these other people. And if you're still around after I read for Cody and then Ivy, I would love to pull some cards for you. But Cody, let's go ahead. This card right here is the root. This is the root of your issues right now. The servant. Very good. Okay. And then one of the other issues that's kind of burdening you right now is the God shadow. Okay. And then the last one, this is one of the upper level shadows, Cody, that you should be looking at before we get to the deeper issues. So, and that is the companion. Very good. Okay. So Cody, the root of all of your issues right now, or what you should be focusing on, is this servant shadow. And so the shadow attribute of the servant is using the lack of money as an excuse not to move forward with life. Cody, this is really important, all right? We live in a capitalist society and we all need money to live. Like, we need money, we need it. But also, I think sometimes we use money as an excuse, or we say, I don't travel because like I don't have any money, or I won't study the thing that I really enjoy because I don't have money, or I can't get a scholarship, or I just won't move forward because I don't have the money to do it. And I'm not going to be resourceful and figure out how to do what I really love to do. I'm just going to complain about not having money. I know a lot about this shadow because I used to be this person heavily. I embodied the servant shadow, where I was like, never did anything for myself, never did any healing or good experience work because I was like, oh, I just don't have the money. Now I do things free or cheap. I travel, I see like awesome people, I fill up my soul and heal myself, and I have a good life because I am working to remove that shadow from my existence so that I can do the life that I want to do. Like, so many people want readings and intuitive messages. They're like, what's my life path? What am I supposed to be doing with my life? Well, if you don't remove the shadows, you're not even going to want to do your life path. So this is very important. Like, now is the time to do the things that make you feel good and disregard money. Like, figure out a way to do it. Do it with somebody else and do it cheaper. Do it for free. Do it in your own time, but do it. Do that thing. So the second shadow that you should be looking at is the God shadow. And the shadow attribute of that is despotism, and cruelty, and using power to control people. So a lot of people are hurt by the God shadow. Sometimes this directly correlates to religion, sometimes not. Sometimes it correlates to people who act like a god. Have you ever met somebody that acts like a god, whether that's a parent, a teacher, a mentor, a coworker, a boss? Oh my gosh, those people are on this god complex or something like that, and they're just cruel just for the sake of being able to control other people. Sometimes we even do this. Sometimes we're little chaos mages and we use the power of control just to control people, just to see what will happen. And so this is something that we should work to bring to a state of emptiness in ourselves. And then the top layer shadow is the companion. And the shadow attribute is betrayal by misusing confidence and a loss of personal identity. So this is definitely like codependency energy. So if you are codependent or you have been in codependent relationships in the past, again, teachers, cousins, sister, brother, friends, romantic relationships, this is something that you really need to observe in your own life. And have you been hurt by these experiences of codependency, or have somebody betrayed your confidence? Like you tell them something and confidence, and then they just kind of like betray that and tell everybody else, and you're left feeling very vulnerable. These things can be very, very hurtful. Cody, I am looking at these shadows as something that is like directly interfering with basically you moving forward with your life path and finding that true authenticity and happiness that we all deserve. So Cody, I'm witnessing the shadow of the servant, the God, and the companion with respect, love, compassion, understanding, and the wisdom to know that we could do better in the future and return these shadows to a state of emptiness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I am grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I am grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I am grateful for this experience. And by my nature is my own rainbow energy. I command and demand any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements, especially those ones associated with the servant, the God, and the companion shadow, to be quantumly disentangled from Cody's infinite energy field and from the field of the collective. Clear and cancel across all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions. Because I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. And by my nature is my own rainbow energy. I automatically transmute any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements associated with the servant, the God, and the companion shadow, and quantumly disentangle these from Cody's infinite field and from the field of the collective. Clear and cancel across all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions into a boundary of light, back to source to be received, upcycle, recycle, transmuted, and returned to love. So mote it be, and so it is. Thank you so much, Cody. That was a big one, so I hope that was helpful to you. Ivy, are you still there? I would love to read for you, Ivy, if you're still around. I'm going to go ahead and shuffle these cards while we look for a new person to help with shadow work. Cody said that he definitely needed to hear that. Oh, yes. Oh, Ivy's there. She's giving me eyeballs. You know what? That would be really helpful to me. That would be really helpful to me, Cody. And also anybody else who is still watching this. I do offer like full length ceremonies where like I'll just work on you or whatever issue or intention you have. I do these based on donation. So I ask you to donate to me and make something that is equitable for you. So for some people that's $30, for some people that's $200, for some people they don't have anything and they'll send me like a cool rock they found. They'll send it to my office. I'm like, okay, that's great. So I ask for an equitable energy exchange for these ceremonies. And if you're interested in booking one, go to my website, BrittanyFreakinChavez.com, and set up a free consult with me. Okay, I'll talk to you on the phone and we'll see if we're a good fit or if I can help you. I would love to do this work for you because, again, as I do this work, I am also healing myself and I am benefiting the collective. So it is very important to do this. Cody, I am so sorry. You're a lady and I was calling you, he. I should always call people they, and sometimes I forget. I'm glad that you're a lady and I'm glad that I was able to help you, and thank you for correcting me. I just did that recently too with somebody named Mackenzie or Courtney. It was a dude. I'm like, oh, she. I know better. Always call people they until you know. Always call them they. So let's go ahead and we're going to read for Ivy. And thank you all for being kind to me. I appreciate you. We'll go ahead and read for Ivy though. Ivy, this card that I pull is going to be the root issue. And then after I read for Ivy, whoever else is here, like, on the feed, you can comment again after Ivy's reading, and I would love to read for you. So Ivy, this card is the root. Midas Miser. Okay. And this is another level shadow king. Okay. So it's feeling like some patriarchal energy, Ivy. I'll highlight you for a minute. Your eyeballs. Thanks for the eyeballs, Ivy. Oh, I feel that about parents that are interesting, Cody. I got you. All right, Ivy, we're going to pull one more card. And this is like the surface level issues that you should check out before you get to those deeper rooted issues. Okay, and it's the Destroyer. Perfect. So, Ivy, the root of what you should be focusing on right now is the Midas Miser shadow, which the shadow attribute is hoarding money and emotions and obsessive fear of losing your wealth. So either this is a tendency that you portray in yourself, or it's something that other people have hurt you with, right? So this could be partners or parents, teachers, any kind of person who in society maybe has power over you, or they steal your emotional energy and they refuse to reciprocate emotional energy. Or it could be people that like obsessively keep their wealth. They won't help you out or help other people out. And that affects you either directly or indirectly. So that's a really big shadow. This is something that we should be looking at, all of us, in a capitalist society. Are we Midas or miser? Are we afraid? That fear, that scarcity blocks us from our own abundance and ability to generate and manifest wealth. So that is very important to look at this shadow. The next shadow that we should be looking at, Ivy, is the King shadow. The light attribute of the King is enlightened, benevolent, leadership, and benefiting those who you are in charge of. Well, the shadow attribute is excessive feelings of entitlement and rulership without restraint. So this is really important. Somebody in your life has been the tyrant, right? The king is the beautiful embodied archetype. That's like Aragorn in Lord of the Rings, like the guy who sings in Elvish and kisses other men on the forehead and also goes out and slays the dragons. Like that's the embodied archetype. But somebody in your experience has hurt you with the other side of the king, the like I said, the tyrant. So pay attention to that in your experiences in your past. And has any of that kind of worn off on you? And are you sometimes the tyrant? I know I am. But the last, yeah, Ivy says people in her family. Yeah. So the last thing that we should look at, this is like the surface level. We need to really look at the shadow before we can get into that root. And that is the Destroyer. Light attribute of the Destroyer is releasing what is potentially destructive and preparing for new life. So this is excellent energy of growth and regeneration. However, the shadow attribute of the Destroyer is intoxication with destructive power and destroying other people's dreams and potentials. So this is a really big thing. If you have been in, again, power structures, whether this is relationships, parents, teachers, and they have basically squashed your dreams. They have been like, wow, my life was really super hard and I want your life to be a lot better. So I'm going to be really hard on you and just basically tell you to work hard and only care about the things that are going on in the world, not care about your spiritual growth, your wellness, your potential, your dreams, your life path, your soul's journey, not caring about those things, only caring about the physical world. So this can be very, very detrimental to us, to our growth. So I'm seeing this shadow signature, Ivy, as something that is stepping in the way of your growth, also your life path and happiness. So I'm witnessing, Ivy, the shadow of the Midas and the Miser, the King and the Destroyer, with respect and compassion and understanding, and also the wisdom to know that we could do better in the future and return this shadow to a state of emptiness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I am grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I am grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I am grateful for this experience. And invoking my own rainbow energy, I command and demand any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements, but especially those ones associated with the Midas Miser, the King, and the Destroyer, to be quantumly disentangled from Ivy's infinite energy field and from the field of the collective. Clear and cancel across all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions, because I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. And by my nature, with my rainbow energy, I automatically transmute any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements associated with the Midas Miser, the King, and with the Destroyer. And I hereby quantumly disentangle these issues from Ivy's infinite field and from the field of the collective. Clear and cancel across all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions, into a boundary of light, back to source to be received, upcycled, recycled, transmuted, and returned to love. So mote it be, and so it is. Thank you so much, Ivy. I hope that was helpful. Jordan, thanks for commenting. I'm glad that you like this content. Make sure you thumbs up and share the feed. make other people subscribe so they don't miss the videos, turn the bell notification on. I would like to do these at least once a week. We'll see what happens. I also don't like to set schedules because I feel like spirit just is like, hey, you should go to a different state, and then I leave. So I'm not like the most reliable streamer, but I'm more reliable to spirit and my authenticity than I am to content schedules. And I don't know if that's a bad thing. I feel like you should be energetically authentic instead of just mindlessly timekeeping and doing schedules and things like that. But anyways, I hope that was helpful, Ivy. And Anna Spinola commented a little while up. I would love to do a shadow reading for you, and we'll do this kind of energy clearing for you as well. And anybody else, just comment again after I finish with Anna's reading. So I don't lose you. Oh, thank you, Jordan, for sharing. I appreciate you. Let's work with Anna now. So Anna, this card that I am picking, this is going to be the root of the issues or the things you should focus on right now. You got the damsel. I like that one. Okay. Oh, Cody Nelson or Nielsen just commented on my Facebook and said, are you available to chat? I will get back to you when I'm done this reading, but I would love to chat with you later, Cody. Okay, a lot of phone notifications. Thank you. Okay, so we've got Anna, you've got the damsel. This is another shadow that you should look at, judge. Okay, so this could be, the judge could be trouble with the law, or maybe your family, somebody in your relationships, your experiences had trouble with the law, and that can cause density. Okay, and this is the top layer issue that we should look at before, we really address that root issue. So starting with the root, Anna, you got the damsel. And so the light attribute of the damsel is understanding the nature of healthy romance and inspires you to rely on yourself. So the damsel is directly asking you to remove codependent tendencies in your own life so that you attract really good relationships, really good romantic relationships, friend relationships, healing relationships, mentor relationships, attracting all the good, healthy, healed relationships. Well, the shadow attribute of the damsel is waiting for the night to provide for you and being seduced by this illusion of romance or romantic idea of life. And so the thing, Anna Spinola, that you should be focused on right now is being the knight in shining armor for yourself. You can embody all the divine feminine, all the archetype of feminine energy, but you also must remember that you are the one who has the sovereign power to save yourself. Don't be waiting around for somebody else, because we can't control other people. We can't measure and meter what they're going to do. We can only control ourselves. So make sure that you are putting on the big girl panties and the shining armor and taking care of your own stuff. That's really important right now. And then the next thing to look at, Anna Spinola, is the judge. So this is the light attribute of maintaining balance and compassion and managing fair distribution of power. Eunice just commented and said, hello, is this free now? Yeah, it's free, but you can send me a donation if you want, but I'm reading for somebody else. The shadow attribute of the judge, Anna Spinola, is offering only destructive criticisms and misusing business, legal, or criminal authority. So this could be, like I said, legal trouble, or it could be somebody who is like always criticizing you. They're like so judgmental. And this could be yourself, right? It could be your own inner critic, or it could also be, again, parents, teachers, other people in your experience who just always so critical on you that you weren't able to develop the skills to be the knight in shining armor for yourself because nobody built you up and said, yeah, you're safe. You know what you're doing. You can be the knight. They were all like, nah, you should wait for somebody else to take care of that. So look at areas of criticism, either self-criticism or where people are criticizing you in your life, and stand in your power there and take that power back. And then the last thing that we should look at, again, this is like the top layer issue before we can really eliminate that root layer issue, is the fool, which again is masking, like using your humor and being funny instead of telling people what your true feelings are. So again, that is more like, instead of being serious and saying, look, I've got some issues that we need to work on, just being like funny, like, oh, I've been through worse. I'm like deflecting. So this is asking you to Humor is good. It's good to embody humor, to point out criticisms and hypocrisies in the world, and to just be funny and lighthearted. But it's not okay to put yourself down or be self-deprecating, or, like I said, to just mask and not really tell people what you need, and to try to be funny and push off your needs like it's something that's not that important, because you are very important. So I am looking at this, Anna Spinola, about this shadow reading, and this, to me, it feels like it's directly, again, maybe blocking your life path, but also this is maybe creating issue in your relationships as well. So I feel like you could create a lot of growth and healing in your emotions and relationships by clearing these shadows. So we'll go ahead and clear these now. Anna Spinola, I am witnessing the damsel, the judge, and the fool shadows with respect and compassion and understanding, and knowing that we can do better in the future. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I am grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I am grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I am grateful for this experience. And by my nature is my own rainbow energy. I command and demand any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements associated with the damsel, the judge, and the fool, and I quantumly disentangle these from Anna's infinite energy fields, clear and cancel across all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions, because I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. And by my nature with my own rainbow energy, I automatically transmute any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements associated with the damsel, the judge, and the fool, and quantumly disentangle these from Anna's infinite fields, clear and cancel across all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions, into a boundary of light, back to source, to be received, upcycled, recycled, transmuted, and returned to love. So mote it be, and so it is. Thank you so much, Anna. I hope that was helpful. Anna asked a really good question, though, about the damsel. Anna says, can the damsel be the opposite? I actually am the one who takes care of everybody. I'm a single mom, no help taking care of parents, and working full time in a demanding job. I do need to take care of myself, and that last part is 100% accurate. So Anna, if you are the one who is taking care of everybody, that means maybe there's some imbalance there, and somebody else was the damsel in your situation. So in other words, there might be people in your experience who have the capability to take care of themselves, but you are overdoing it and taking care of them so much because you feel obligated, maybe, or because you feel like there's nobody else or there's no other resources. So if you are in the state of, like you said, taking care of parents or other things like that, I really recommend that you make sure that you are exercising state resources. They do have respite care, and they have social workers, and they have CNAs and people that can come to the house to help with like aging parents and things like that. Make sure that you are utilizing those resources, and don't let everything fall to you, because you can't do that. You can't take care of kids and parents and family and a full-time job and everything and make yourself a healthy individual. Like, we have to have social networks and resources that help people out, especially if you're single and you don't have a partner. Like, that's very hard. So the damsel is teaching you that sometimes you have to delegate power, or at least that's what I feel. And I hope that that's helpful, Anna. Eunice just commented and said, could I get a reading? For sure. Let's go ahead and read for Eunice. Eunice, if I'm not saying your name right, just comment and tell me, because I feel like I do that a lot. I've never met anybody in person named Eunice, I don't think. So that's awesome. Thank you for being on the feed tonight. But yeah, we'll go ahead and read for Eunice. Let's see. And Anna, you're very welcome. And then after I finish the reading and clearing for Eunice, anybody else who's watching, feel free to comment, and I'd love to pull a signature and shadow clearing for you as well. Okay, Eunice, so this is the root of the issues, what you should be focusing on. Oh, cool. Hero, heroine. Dominique, hello. Okay, Eunice, and this is kind of the middle shadow. Delvin, Paul, Camille, I would love to read for you. Definitely. That's awesome. So Eunice. Oh, no, I don't think I have an admin live, and there is somebody spamming on Facebook. If you guys could just report the person who's spamming, that would be so helpful. And in the future, if anybody ever wants to admin for me, I would be very appreciative. Just message me and we'll talk about it. I can't pay you, but I don't make much myself doing readings, so it's a benefit for the collective if you want to be my admin. But this is the top layer issue, Eunice, that you should be looking at before we could really get down to the root of all other issues, and that's the martyr. Okay, very good. So, Eunice, what you should be focusing on right now is this hero heroine shadow. This is like the root of a lot of these issues. And the shadow attribute is escapism and a false sense of heroism. So, this is like basically using your life path, using your career, or using other things to basically escape your own healing. So, this is time. Oh, Brittany is on. Thank you so much. And I appreciate you getting the spam, people. You're the best. But Eunice, this is about basically not looking at your own healing work and then going out and healing others or going out and doing other things and not focusing on yourself. And this doesn't have to necessarily be something that you embody, a pattern that you have. It could be something that your parents embodied, something that a partner embodies or did embody, or it could be teachers, mentors. It could be anybody in your experience who embodies this and who has hurt you with this energy. So that's important to know for all these cards. It could be something that you do, or it could be something that somebody else has hurt you from, or hurt your ancestors, and that directly got passed on to you. The next shadow that we should look at for you, Eunice, is the shadow of Don Juan. And the shadow attribute is using power of romantic attraction for private agendas. And so a lot of times this is talking about people who are like charismatic or seductive. So that could be religious leaders. A lot of times this is actually like partners or romantic interests, things like that, where they're just using their power basically either to use you or because you have proximity to power or privilege, and they want to basically use your energy for that. So that's something to look at. A lot of times that's partners. This could even be like, maybe it's not your partner, but it's like your mom and dad, they had a weird romantic charismatic relationship, or somebody who did something like a religious leader did something to your ancestors or your family. So again, this doesn't necessarily mean you. It could be people in your field of experience. And then the top layer issue is the martyr. So this is the thing that we should really look at before we can eliminate the root of that issue. And the light attribute of the martyr is learning to transcend nature of service to oneself and for a cause. Well, the shadow attribute is addiction to self-pity. Self-pity, my friends, whether you are pitying other people or you're pitying yourself, is very low vibrational energy. It is not the same energy of compassion and of empathy. Self-pity does nothing for you or for anybody else. It just simply puts you on the struggle bus. And I know sometimes we have to be on the struggle bus, and that helps us get from point A to point B, and that helps us on our healing journey towards that perfect healed version of ourselves. But we don't need to stay on that struggle bus for a long time. So it's definitely a good thing to recognize the martyr shadow in ourselves and in our experiences and in the experiences of people who have directly affected us. So Eunice, I am witnessing the hero heroine shadow, the Don Juan shadow, and the martyr shadow with respect, compassion, and understanding, and the wisdom to know that we could do better in the future and return these shadows to a state of emptiness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I am grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I am grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I am grateful for this experience. And by my nature, with my own rainbow energy, I automatically transmute and command and demand any and all foreign energy entanglements, but especially those ones associated with the hero heroine shadow, the Don Juan shadow, and the martyr shadow, to be quantumly disentangled from Eunice's infinite energy field and from the field of the collective. Clear and cancel across all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions, because I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. And by my nature, with my own rainbow energy, I automatically transmute any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements associated with the hero heroine shadow, the Don Juan shadow, and the martyr shadow. Clear and cancel across all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions. Into a boundary of light, back to source to be received, upcycle, recycle, transmuted, and return to love. So mote it be, and so it is. Thank you so much, Eunice. I hope that was helpful. HM, I'm not doing intuitive readings right now. I'm doing shadow signature clearing, shadow work live. Really super cool. And so I'm not answering questions, but follow me on Thursday. I'll do intuitive readings then. Let's see. Okay, we're going to read for Delvin Paul. I'm just going to call you Camille. I think that's your name. I'm pretty sure. I think you have like shared accounts. So we'll read for Camille next, and then Anybody else who's still watching who would like a reading, feel free to comment. Make sure your thumbs up, share, do all that good stuff, subscribe so you don't miss these sessions in the future. But we'll go ahead and read for Camille now. So Camille, this first question that I will read or will pull, this first card that I pull. I need water. Hang on. Getting all floaty now. I need to reground myself. Okay, that's better. Okay, so we'll read for Camille. The first card that I pull will be the root or the thing that we should be focusing on in this shadow work session. All right, so we got one card. Servant. Remember I told you earlier, this one I embodied hardcore when I was younger. I know all about the servant shadow. All right, this is the next shadow. Camille. Oh, upside down. There we go. Upside down cards don't mean anything in this deck, by the way. Sometimes they're just upside down because I don't shuffle them right. And then the last card, this is a surface level issue, but one you should be aware of, the Alchemist. Very good. Okay, Camille. So what you should be focused on right now, the root of your issues in this moment is the servant shadow. And the shadow attribute of the servant shadow is using a lack of money as an excuse to not move forward with your life. So money doesn't matter. Money is neutral. So if you can put yourself in the mindset of money is a neutral power. It is not a good thing. It is not a bad thing. It is not harder to obtain than any other neutral power that exists in the world. Money just exists. And stop, denying yourself experiences, the right to travel, the right to do fun things, the right to self-improvement, the right to healing because you say that you don't have enough money to do it. Find a way. Find somebody who will barter with you. Find a way to do it cheap. Find a way to do it free. You need to be living your best life right now and forget about the money. Forget about the money. We have to be good stewards of our money. We have to have a job. We have to figure out how to make and generate money. We all need money, but you should not let money be the deciding factor of why you are not moving forward and doing the things that you want to do. It's an excuse. Okay. And it's the way that we are programmed. We are programmed to think that everything is so scarce, that there's not enough money to go around. There's not enough resources. There is so much for you, so much for me, so much for everybody in the world to live a fruitful and abundant life. And nobody ever has to struggle. So now is the time to switch that struggle energy, especially surrounding finances. That should be the big thing that you're focused on with your shadow work right now, today. The next thing that you should look at is the Goddess. So the shadow attribute is exploitation of the female nature and form. So either this is something that you embody or something that your parents or people in your experience have had happen to them where the female form was exploited. The nurturing, the healing energy of the female form, the beauty of the female form was exploited either in your experience or in the experience of people around you. So that's something to think about. And then the last thing, this is the surface level thing that we have to peel off before we can really get to the root of that money scarcity idea, is the alchemist. And this is good, right? If you're an alchemist, you can make money out of anything. There are people, all right, on Twitch and stuff who play video games and make money doing it. If people can play video games and make money online, you can do anything that your heart desires and have a good time doing it. You have the ability, the wisdom, the knowledge, the power, the sovereignty to do whatever you want and to make enough money doing that. So, Camille, I am witnessing the shadow of the servant, the goddess, and the alchemist with respect, compassion, and understanding, and knowing with the wisdom that we can do better in the future and return all these shadows to a state of emptiness and to move forward to align to the best and highest timeline for you, for me, and for the benefit of all the collective with maximum grace, ease, and efficiency. So I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I am grateful for this experience. And by my nature, with my own rainbow energy, I command and demand any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements, but especially those associated with the servant shadow, the goddess shadow, and the alchemist shadow to be quantumly disentangled from Camille's infinite energy field and from the fields of the collective. Clear and cancel across all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions, because I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. And by my nature, with my own rainbow energy, I automatically transmute any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements associated with the servant shadow, the goddess shadow, the alchemist shadow, and I quantumly disentangle these from Camille's infinite energy field and from the fields of the collectives. Clear and cancel across all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions into a boundary of light, back to source to be received, upcycled, recycled, transmuted, and returned to love. So mote it be, and so it is. Thank you so much, Camille. I'm so glad you commented, and I hope that that was helpful. Lisa Leonard commented and said, do you do free readings? Yes, Lisa. I am doing shadow work readings tonight. So we're doing shadow work readings and then clearing those shadow energies from your energy signature, from your quantum timelines. And basically it's like, clearing your energies while doing these cards. So shadow work that we can do live with each other. Anybody who watches this video or replays this video will receive the benefit of reducing density in their lives and removing shadows. So I will do it for free for sure. Or you can send me a donation on PayPal. That would be awesome. If you do that, I'm going to go get Indian food tonight for dinner. If you send me a donation, I could use some spicy in my life. So I would appreciate that. But let's go ahead. We will read for Eliza Wall. Pardon me. And then Jordan has been commenting quite a bit. So after I read for Eliza, Jordan, just pop on and comment again if you're still watching after I finish with Eliza's reading. And I would love to read for you. And then after I read for Eliza, and then Jordan, if she's still here, I will read for anybody else who comments. So let's see. All right, my friends. Eliza, this is the root of the issues that you're experiencing right now. Oh, cool. And Eliza said that they've been busy with moving. That's awesome. I'm so glad that you're moving. I think it's good to move energies. And I think that brings a lot of healing and peace sometimes to your journey. So that's really good. And thank you, Jordan. I'm so glad you're still here. And Camille, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. Okay, Eliza. So this is the root of your issues. This is the destroyer, right? And then we've got another issue that's something you should look at. And this has military written all over it, by the way, Eliza, to me. And then this is one of the surface level issues, one of the ones you should peel back and look at if you are going to heal the root of this issue. All right, Eliza. So the root of the issues is the destroyer. So the light attribute of the destroyer is having the ability to release things that are potentially destructive and then inviting new life and creation energy. So the destroyer makes space in your life. That's a beautiful thing to embody. A lot of the feminine, goddesses, they embody the archetype of the destroyer. So destruction is a very feminine energy, if you ask me. And the shadow attribute, however, of the destroyer is intoxication with destructive power and destroying other people's dreams and potential. So the destroyer energy shows up in our experience a lot of times because people in our experience have destroyed us. They have destroyed our dreams. They've destroyed our hopes. They have crushed our person. They've crushed our personality. They have really done a number on us. And so sometimes people are so crushed and destroyed that they can't find their own true purpose or their life path, or they don't know what makes them happy anymore. So this is a very important thing to look at if you've ever had any kind of abusive cycles or relationships in your life. Or if you were raised by people who had abusive cycles in their life. I find that a lot of times abuse cycles run in a line, right? So it's not just you're the one who experienced the abuse. That person, their mother and the father, they experience abuse, and the grandparents experience abuse, and the great-grandparents. It's like a cyclical thing. So witnessing the destroyer in your family and in your family line and your ancestors' line will help to remove all of that density and that shadow energy from you, from your energy fields, but also from all the fields of your ancestors. So this is why shadow work is important. Another thing that you should be looking at, Eliza, is the shadow of the engineer right here. The light attribute is the ability to give creative and practical expression and a talent for designing solutions to common problems. But the shadow attribute of the engineer is relying on mechanist solutions without regard for emotional consequence. So this is basically like going through the motions of solving problems and doing things that sound good on paper, but it doesn't necessarily honor the soul, the spirit, and the energy of the person. So you, Eliza, or people in your experience have been hurt by people who've cast a shadow of the engineer over you using mechanist solutions and not caring about emotions. Very important to look at that. And then the last thing, this is the thing that's kind of surface level, is the shadow of the prostitute. The shadow attribute places material considerations over your own security and self-empowerment. So again, this could be people in your experience or you exhibiting this kind of, cycle or energy where, these people constantly place material wealth and the idea of a job, the idea of their power and their status over, again, self-empowerment, over security, over what's actually right. So, Eliza, I am witnessing the shadow of the destroyer, the engineer, and the prostitute with respect and compassion and understanding, knowing that we can do better in the future and return these shadows to a state of emptiness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I am grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I am grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I am grateful for this experience. And invoking my own rainbow energy, I command and demand any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements, but especially those associated with the destroyer, the engineer, and the prostitute, to be quantumly disentangled from Eliza's infinite energy field and from the field of the collective. Clear and cancel across all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions. Because I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. And by my nature, with my own rainbow energy, I automatically transmute any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements associated with the destroyer, with the engineer, and with the prostitute shadow, and quantumly disentangle these from Eliza's infinite energy field and the fields of the collective. Clear and cancel across all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions into a boundary of light, back to source to be received, upcycled, recycled, transmuted, and returned to love. So mote it be, and so it is. Thank you so much, Eliza. I hope that one was helpful to you. Thank you. All right, we're going to shuffle for a minute. Oh, Eliza says, yep, currently trying to break that cycle. Engineer definitely sounds like the military, and I'm definitely thinking about getting out because of it. Yeah, and definitely needed this. Glad I came here. Yeah, thank you so much, Eliza. I appreciate you showing up on the feed. Thank you so much for your support as a patron on Patreon. That's so wonderful, and I really appreciate that. If I can get enough patrons on Patreon, that means I can do spirituality full-time. Like I can do facilitated shadow work, I could do readings, I can do ceremonies full-time. But I have to make enough money to basically like cover my mortgage and pay for my kids to eat. So like I probably need about $3,000 a month, and I'm not anywhere near that on Patreon, which is fine. But eventually, that is my goal, like my goal for abundance. If I can get enough patrons, I can do spirituality full-time and not have to worry about my physical needs, and I can just do whatever. So I appreciate everybody who has ever supported me on Patreon, or anybody who will support me in the future, and all the people who continue to support me. You guys are wonderful, and it really helps me. So thank you, Eliza. I appreciate you. But we're going to go ahead and we'll read for Jordan. We'll read for Jordan now. Let's see. Okay, Jordan, this is the root of the issues. Ha, you got the servant. Oh, that one keeps coming up. Oh, Eliza, thank you so much. Yeah, Eliza mentioned that I'm really active. Yeah, I give daily messages on Patreon. So every day I connect to the energy of the calendar, the Tonopawali, and I give out daily messages. So I tell you kind of like, here's what the energy is going to be like, and here's how we can best stay in balance. And I give you a little affirmation every day too. And that goes directly to your email. So it's really cool. There's a lot of benefits to being a patron. I get to share with you my love of the calendar, and you get some inspiration and the benefit of knowing you're feeding my kids and paying for my groceries. So thank you again. I appreciate it. But Jordan, let's see. Jordan Robinson, are you still here, by the way? If you're still here, the root of your issues is the servant. The second shadow that we will look at is the healer. Oh, these relate to each other. These relate to each other, Jordan. And hi, Fakim. And let's see. Jordan, this is the last shadow. This is the queen. So it's the surface level thing that you have to remove before we can really get into that root. Okay, so what you should be focusing on, and this has come up a lot, Jordan. So this is a common issue for a lot of us. This is like the main thing that's blocking your life path and your energy right now, right? Is the servant shadow. Again, the shadow attribute of the servant, using the lack of money as an excuse not to move forward with life. And so all of these cards, all of them, this is things either that you exhibit or things that other people have exhibited that have hurt you. So you could be using your lack of money not to do the things that you need to do in your life, whether that's traveling, vacation, healing, training, studying, whatever it is that your life path calls you. You're neglecting to do it because of money. Or maybe your parents raised you like that, right? Maybe your parents didn't work on their own healing, or didn't study the things that they should study, or didn't take vacations or do good things because they had this scarcity, this fear that their money would run out. And so that can hurt you, negatively affect your energetic configuration. So either you exhibit this pattern, or people in your experience have exhibited this pattern and have hurt you because of it. And it's blocking you from reaching your full potential. And so the next thing that we should look at, Jordan, we've got the servant shadow. The next thing is the healer shadow. The shadow attribute of the healer is taking advantage of those who need your help and failing to care for your own self. So again, this could be something you exhibit or something other people have done to you. This could be healers that you've interacted with in the past, could be parents, teachers, mentors, could be yourself as well. So this is a big message to remember to take care of your own needs. If you are a healer or you feel called at all to the healing path, you have to make sure that you're taken care of. That's why I have a Patreon. Like, I'm putting that out there. Like, I want to be taken care of by the community. So I made a Patreon and made that commitment to make messages every single day. So you need to make sure that you're taken care of however that is, okay? And so for some people, it's setting up regular self-care, like making a date, like every single 2 weeks or every month, I'm going to go to the chiropractor, or I'm going to do my shadow work, or I'm going to do meditation 5 minutes a day. Do something that keeps and protects your balance. That's very important right now. And that helps you move past those blocks around scarcity and money. And then the thing that's surface level that we should really like peel off to get to those issues of abundance is the queen shadow. Light attribute of the queen is radiating regal, feminine, and using benevolent authority to protect others. This is like advocating for others, making sure that other people's needs are taken care of in a healthy and respectful manner while your needs are respected. However, the shadow attribute of the queen is becoming arrogant when your authority is challenged and being controlling and demanding. So again, you or people in your experience have been hurt by this shadow. It's controlling, demanding, non-benevolent, malevolent energy of feminine authority, especially. So this could be like mothers or like teachers that were females, or any other feminine type energy in your life who tried to control you. So I am witnessing, Jordan, the shadow of the servant, the healer, and the queen with respect, kindness, and understanding. And before we get into clearing this signature, anybody else who is still watching who would like a shadow reading and clearing, feel free to comment, and I would love to help you with that after we clear with Jordan. So Jordan, I am witnessing you with respect and compassion, knowing that we can return these shadows to a state of emptiness with the ability to move forward in good alignment, perfect alignment with ourselves and our best and highest good, not just for ourselves, but for the collective. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I am grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I am grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I am grateful for this experience. And invoking my own rainbow energy, I command and demand any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements, but especially those ones associated with the servant, the healer, and the queen shadow, to be quantumly disentangled from Jordan's energy field and from the field of the collective. Clear and cancel across all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions. Because I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. And by my nature, with my own rainbow energy, I automatically transmute any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements associated with the servant shadow, the healer shadow, and the queen shadow, and quantumly disentangle these from Jordan's infinite energy fields and from the infinite energy fields of the collective. Clear and cancel across all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions into a boundary of light, back to source to be received, upcycled, recycled, transmuted, and returned to love. So mote it be, and so it is. Thank you so much, Jordan. I hope that that one was helpful for you. And you're very welcome. Katina. Hi, Katina. Yeah, I would love to do a reading for you. Let me go ahead and shuffle for a minute. Oh, welcome, Katina. Make sure you follow because I go live every Thursday and do intuitive messages. And then I want to start doing these shadow work sessions. I don't know, maybe once a week or twice a month, something like that. Oh, thank you for calling me beautiful. I appreciate you. Okay, this one just flipped over. So this is the root of your issue. So this is the martyr shadow. It's the one that we'll witness first. And then we're going to find kind of like a middle level shadow. Oh, it's this one. Rescuer. Okay, very good. And Katina, this is the last shadow. This is the one that is surface level. We need to peel this shadow off before we can really get to the issue of the root and the guide. Okay, very good. So, Katina, what you should be focused on for shadow work right now is this martyr shadow. This is the root of your shadow work density right now. And the shadow attribute of the martyr is an addiction to self-pity. Now, with these cards, like I have explained in the past readings, this is either a pattern that you exhibit or it's something that other people have hurt you with, their martyrdom. So this could be like a parent or a teacher, somebody in a position of power over you or your ancestors who had an addiction to self-pity and basically was like, me, take care of me, feel sorry for me. And like, instead of having compassion, like compassion is something that we should have for all of humanity. It is instead having pity and asking you to feel bad. Like, just because you can empathize with somebody does not mean you should feel bad. Your energy should never be disrupted just because somebody else is going through something bad. If it is, that is entanglement. That is pity energy. It is very negative. It's almost like an energetic attachment, right? People are always worried about demons and attachments and whatever else that you have out there. Pity energy, that is demonic, right? I don't use that word lightly. Pity energy is very bad. So whether you are pitying yourself, it's blocking your energy, or other people are pity me, that's rough. That's really rough. So you need to return that to a state of emptiness. And the way you do that is by exhibiting the light attribute of the martyr, which is learning the transcendent nature of service to oneself or to a cause. Remember, this is conscious giving, conscious service. I talk about this a lot on Patreon. This is the ability to give to others freely and not expect anything in return. That is eliminating the martyr shadow within yourself, and you can exhibit that conscious giving. Katina, I'm going to do an energy clearing tonight. And if you'd like further help and direction, subscribe to my Patreon. I give people daily messages and things to think about every single day. And when you subscribe to Patreon, you actually get like 300 messages, access to 300 messages that I've given in the past. So there's a lot of inspiration and direction in Patreon. And the lowest tier is like $3 a month. That's like super cheap. And I love to do it. And you're supporting me and helping me pay my mortgage and feed my kids and all that good stuff. So go subscribe to me on Patreon. I would love that. And it would be very helpful. But the next thing that we will look at, Katina. Oh, yeah, that's a lot. Okay, so the next thing that we'll look at, Katina, is the rescuer shadow. So that the shadow attribute of the rescuer is assuming that the rescuer reciprocate and keeps the rescue one needy. So this is like helping people only for a little bit. Like, I'm going to help you, but make sure that you still remain wounded and sick so that I can be in this position of power over you. And so again, this could be something that you exhibit or something that other people have done to you. They have hurt you with the shadow of this rescuer. And then the kind of like surface level issue, this is the thing that we should look at to peel off before we can really get to that martyr issue. And this is the shadow of the guide. The light attribute of the guide represents the nature of the divine in your life and in yourself. But the shadow attribute of the guide is placing financial gain and control over imparting spiritual insight. So this is people who basically they refuse to help you and provide you insight, and they make they make you feel like I'm the best thing and you can't do any healing without me. And basically they're like, gatekeeping your own healing experience. And I am here to tell you that you can take up your own power of sovereignty and do your own shadow work. You don't need me. You don't need this silly live video. You can do your own shadow work and your own healing, and you have the ability to connect to the divine. So this shadow is specifically clearing away any doubts or any need for validation that you might still be seeking in yourself or in others. HM, thank you for still being here. I would love to do a shadow work reading on you when I finish with Katina. And Dawn, thank you for commenting. But Katina, I am now witnessing the shadow of the martyr, the rescuer, and the guide in your experience, and understand that people have hurt you and your ancestors because of these shadows. And I'm witnessing these with a state of complete compassion and understanding so that they may be returned to a state of emptiness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I am grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I am grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I am grateful for this experience. And by my nature, with my own rainbow energy, I command and demand any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements associated with the shadow of the martyr, the rescuer, and the guide to be quantumly disentangled from Katina's infinite energy field and from the fields of the collective. Clear and cancel across all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions, because I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. And by my nature, with my own rainbow energy, I automatically transmute any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements associated with the martyr shadow, the rescuer shadow, and the guide shadow, and hereby quantumly disentangle these shadows from Katina's infinite energy field and the fields of the collectives. Clear and cancel across all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions into a boundary of light, back to source to be received, upcycled, recycled, transmuted, and returned to love. So mote it be, and so it is. Thank you so much, Katina. I hope that that was helpful. Like I said, please subscribe. I'll be back live in a couple days, probably on Thursday for intuitive messages. But HM, let's go ahead and do a reading for you. You've stuck around for a long time. Thank you so much. Dawn, I will read for you next. I am quantumly entangled in your situation, so we need to do collective shadow work together for that. Okay, so HM, we're going to do the shadow clearing for you. HM, this is the root of the issues that you should be looking at, okay? Oop, upside down. Okay, so you got the storyteller as the root. This is one of the other layers of this issue. Avenger. And this is the top layer issue, the one that you need to peel off if you're going to get to the root of those issues. And Dawn, I will do the ceremonies, like long ceremonies, clearing like however many shadows need to be cleared, but just like tell me you need that and I'll set it up and we'll get on Zoom and we'll do it. And then when I do these ceremonies, like the long ceremonies, I also send you an audio recording. I recommend that you replay the audio recording like 100 times, because you get attached to your shadows. You get attached to your energy. You get attached to the way things are. So to create true healing and change, you have to actually work on it. So working on your shadow work is replaying the recording. So you can replay this video, or you can set up a ceremony with me, and I would love to clear the shadows. And like I said, I do this donation based. So like if you don't have a lot of money, you've got like $5 to your name, I will still do the ceremony for you. Just give me something equitable. Send me something shiny from your shiny collection. I have a crow brain and I love that type of stuff. But I will do a full term, like a full ceremony privately for you. If you like that, just contact me. The next time I'm doing them is November 6th. And then 13 days after that, I do them in accordance with the Tono Pohuali sacred calendar. So I would love to do long-term, big shadow ceremonies for you. If that is something that resonates with you, just reach out. I'm always available. But now we are going to look at HM shadows, okay? So HM, the root of the shadows, the things that you should be focused on right now in terms of removing shadow and density from your life is this storyteller shadow. Light attribute of the storyteller is the ability to experience and express life through stories and symbols. while the shadow attribute is making up tales that hurt and harm others. So you or your experience, your ancestors, your parents, people who have had power over you have been hurt by the shadow of the storyteller, which is basically like lies, like people making up lies. And maybe they're good lies, like maybe they're juicy and they're fun to listen to, but that can be very hurtful. Any essence or element of authenticity can create negative energy for you or for others. So I am witnessing that shadow in your experience. And then the next shadow that we should pay attention to, HM, is the Avenger shadow, which the light attribute of the Avenger is a desire to balance the scales of justice and righteousness on behalf of society or oneself. And the shadow attribute is resorting to violence in the name of a cause. So the Avenger shadow talks about people basically who they will do anything just in the name of a cause, or they'll do anything. They're very single-mindedly focused, and sometimes they hurt other people because they're so focused on the cause, and they're like, everything else doesn't matter, and it's just whatever. I'm going to focus on this cause and make things change by force, and I don't care who I hurt in the process of that. So it's very important to look at that shadow in yourself, or if it has hurt other people in your experience and indirectly hurt you. And the last thing to look at, this is the surface level thing that we must peel away to get to that root of the lies, the storyteller, is the eternal child shadow. This is rough. A lot of times this is either you or your parents are like this, and that created problems and density for you. But the shadow attribute is the inability to grow up and to be responsible and being extremely dependent on others for physical security. So again, codependent tendencies, that comes up a lot in this deck. But this means that somebody in your life refuses to grow up. So that could be you, or like I said, that could be a partner, that could be parents, that could be teachers, religious mentors, guides, anything like that. They could be exhibiting the eternal child, where they make you feel bad and like they're incapable, and then they make you feel guilty and kind of guilt trip you into taking care of all their responsibilities when they really need to be taking care of them. Themselves. So HM, I am witnessing the shadow of the storyteller, the Avenger, and the eternal child with compassion and understanding, knowing that we have the wisdom and ability to do better in the future and return these shadows to a state of emptiness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I am grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. And by my nature, with my own rainbow energy, I automatically command and demand any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements associated with the storyteller shadow, the Avenger shadow, or the eternal child shadow, and I quantumly disentangle these from HM's infinite fields, clear and cancel across all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions. Because I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. And by my nature, with my own rainbow energy, I automatically transmute any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements associated with the storyteller shadow, the Avenger shadow, and the eternal child shadow. And I hereby quantumly disentangle these shadows from HM's infinite field and from the infinite fields of the collective, clear and cancel across all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions, into a boundary of light, back to source to be received, upcycle, recycle, transmuted, and returned to love. So mote it be, and so it is. Thank you so much, HM. I appreciate you, and I hope that was helpful. Cushy just commented on YouTube and asked if I would give a reading. For sure. I'm actually going to do a reading for Dawn on Facebook first, and then I will do a reading for you. So Dawn on Facebook says that they have issues with with a parent, with a person in their family, and they are never admit that they're wrong, and he just feels like he's at an impasse, and it's like, what should I do with this? So we'll pull 3 shadows, and we'll also transmute those shadows from all of our collective energy fields, so that the best and highest timeline with this family member is easily attainable to you. It's easy, there's great alignment, and all of those issues and density surrounding that situation will be dissolved through clearing this energy. So the root of this issue, Dawn, is a nature child. Another issue that's pretty deep that you should look at is the visionary shadow. Cushy, stick around and I will answer that, do a shadow reading on you after I finish this session with Dawn. Absolutely. And then the servant. Okay, Dawn. So the root of these issues is the nature child. And this is a tendency to abuse animals, people, and the environment. So I would deeply look at abuse cycles in your life directly related to this particular situation. So this is abuse maybe that you have endured, or abuse that this other person or other people in this situation have endured. And how does this cycle of abuse affect what's going on right now? And can we clear some of this density surrounding this abuse or this cycle, and basically return that to a state of emptiness, so that when the shadow is removed, we can align to a better outcome, essentially. So that's something to keep in mind, looking at this circumstance from the eyes of compassion, understanding that we're all humans that go through traumatic things. We're all humans that go through hard, difficult, impossible things in our life, and we're just trying to do the best things that we can. Some of us develop mental illnesses or coping mechanisms that are very unhealthy, and we end up hurting other people around us. So it's important to look at these cycles in ourselves, but also to see our people who are creating density in our life. See them as people. See them as humans that go through things the way that we go through things. So think about that. The next thing that you should look at is the visionary shadow, which the shadow attribute of that is selling insight to the highest bidder and compromising your vision to make it more acceptable to others. So Dawn, I see you as somebody who is visionary. You're somebody who has like a lot of really good ideas that could help humanity. But if you are constantly in an energy, either through partners, through parents, through teachers, through bosses, that kind of thing, where people tell you that your ideas are not valuable, that leads you to think that you're not valuable. It leads you to think that you should not use your visionary insights and your ability to change the world to help others. It makes you feel depleted, honestly. So it's time to look at that shadow and to restore it to a state of emptiness and to move forward. Yeah. Dawn says this particular family member says that they were abused. Yeah. So if they carry on a cycle of abuse, is it really their abuse, or is it abuse that was given to them? This is getting really metaphysical in this discussion now. But when you pass on energies to your children, which you do, you are passing on good things, and you're also passing on not so good things. And if we can't return ourselves to a state of emptiness, we pass those things on to our children and hope that they'll be able to clear those things to a state of emptiness. That's why doing shadow work is important. You're healing your children, your grandchildren, your ancestors, your parents, your grandparents. You're healing everybody by doing the shadow work. Is very important. But the thing that we should look at, this is the top level thing, like the first thing that we need to look at before we can get to the root of the issue, is the servant shadow. And that is using the lack of money as an excuse not to move forward with life. So this is basically not investing in yourself, not taking the vacation, not doing the healing work, not taking the training, not getting the degree that you want to do because you say that you don't have the money for it. Again, money is a neutral power. Money is a non-issue. If you put your alignment where it's supposed to be, you will be able to move to where you were supposed to be. Okay, because all of us have this life path, this soul's journey, and I think that we pick it before we even come here. I know everybody's got their own ideas about that. I am reasonably certain that we pick a life path. We come into this incarnation, and then a lot of times trauma or scarcity mindset blocks us from stepping into alignment with our best and highest self, with our lifetime, with what we're supposed to be doing. And so we need to remove those densities that are keeping us from our life path. And so in this case, it's time to look at scarcity mindset. Like, you have enough, you have always had enough, you've always been able to take care of yourself, regardless of the situations you've been through. And so it's time to get rid of that scarcity mindset, especially in terms of finances, and move forward with doing the things you want to do with your life, whatever that looks like, traveling, doing things, healing people, getting training. You need to move forward and do that and forget about the money. The money comes when you are in good alignment with yourself. You're recently practicing the money thing. Good. So this is a top layer issue. It's not deep-seated. We're going to peel it off and then it's going to be gone. Like a Band-Aid. It's perfect. So I am witnessing, Dawn, the nature child, the visionary, and the servant shadows with respect and compassion and understanding, and having the wisdom to know that we could do better in the future and return these shadows to a state of emptiness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I am grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. And invoking my own rainbow energy, I command and demand any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements, especially those ones associated with the nature child, the visionary, and the servant shadow, to be quantumly disentangled from Dawn and from his family's infinite energy fields and from the fields of the collective. Clear and cancel across all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions, into a boundary of light, back to source, to be received, upcycled, recycled, transmuted, and returned to love. So mote it be, and so it is. Thank you so much, Dawn. I hope that provides help and healing and clearing for you. Anna Ashby, I'm going to read for Cushy on YouTube. Cushy, comment again. Let me know that you're still there. But I'm going to read for Cushy. And after I read for Cushy, I would love to read for you, Anna. I read for a different Anna, but I didn't read for you. So I would love to do that. So Cushy, I'm shuffling currently for you. I really got to shuffle the cards this time. Like it's a big deal. Yep, Cushy's still here. Perfect. Okay, Cushy. So this card that we pick, I'm going to scroll up a little bit. Cushy said something specifically. Cushy wants to remove density and align to a timeline where the best, not just any, where the best job falls into Cushy's lap. They're able to just reach out and grab that job. It's in good alignment. It pays you enough. You have excellent coworkers. It's a good work environment. That job is right there. So we're going to remove density in your life and help you align to a timeline where you get that good job. Okay, Cushy. So this is the root of your issues. Magical child. Very good. And this is another issue that's pretty deep. Trickster. Aha. And this shadow, this is a surface level shadow. And so this is something that you have to look at before we can really get rid of that deep rooted shadow. But it's surface level still. All right. We got the orphan child. Okay, so you got a lot of child energy here in this reading, Cushy. So this says to me that in shadow work, in terms of what you should be focusing on, maybe healing the inner child, maybe looking at your own childhood experiences, or looking at the childhood experiences of the people who have had power over you in your life. So parents, teachers, coworkers, bosses, things like that. If people have done you wrong, a lot of times it's because they were done wrong when they were children, and they are unhealed children in the bodies of adults acting like children and hurting everybody in their path. So it's time to look at inner child healing for you. The root of your issues today, Cushy, are the magical child, which has the shadow attribute of pessimism, depression, a disbelief in miracles, and believing that energy and action are not required for growth, while the light attribute, bringing the shadow into good balance, is seeing the potential for sacred beauty in all things and the belief that everything is possible. So this is what we're doing right now. We're transmuting shadows and aligning to a better and higher timeline. This is embodying the magical child. So doing this work is exceptionally important, Cushy. Now, the shadow attribute, again, is pessimism and depression. I really think, and again, I could be wrong. You don't have to believe me or take me to the bank, but I really believe that depression and a lot of the mental health issues that we see in our society today are because society is failing us. It's because we're out of balance. And because we're out of balance in this really big power structure, we become pessimistic. We become depressed. We think that we can't change anything. We think that, our lot in life is basically to be miserable. And all of those things are so far from the truth. We are meant to be here to have good experiences and to do cool shit. That is why we were put on the planet, my friends. So I am witnessing the magical child with respect and compassion, Cushy. And then moving forward, another shadow that's pretty important to look at is the trickster shadow, which is manipulating others through duplicity. So basically, like being tricky, being a little chaotic. There could be people in your life that have hurt you or have hurt people in proximity to you with trickster energy. And then the last thing, this is kind of like, we need to peel off this top layer and then we'll really get to the root of the issues, is the orphan child. So again, it seems to me that maybe you're aware of like this healing of the inner child and you've been doing some work on it. And this is a more top level issue. But the orphan child shadow attribute is feelings of abandonment that stifle your maturation and seeking inappropriate surrogate families. So Cushy, this is basically like nobody supported me when I was a kid. And now that I'm an adult, I don't feel safe to make choices or to go out there and find new positions or even maybe to meet new people or to put my resume out there because I'm worried that I'm going to get rejected, or because I was not taken care of I wasn't made to feel safe when I was younger, essentially. And so this is either something that has happened to you or it happened to your family or your teachers, and that has directly influenced you and your energetic configurations. So Cushy, Cushy says that's on point. I'm glad that we're able to help. There is another spammer on Facebook. Somebody get rid of them, report them. But goodness gracious. Okay, so Cushy, I am witnessing the magical child, the trickster, and the orphan child with respect, kindness, compassion, wisdom, and understanding, and the knowledge to know that we could do better in the future and return these shadows to a state of emptiness and align to the best and highest timeline, the timeline where you have the best job, where you are divinely compensated for your time, and where there is ease and grace all around your coworkers, your bosses, your superiors, and in your actual work environment. So mote it be. So I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I am grateful for this experience. And by my nature, with my rainbow energy, I command and demand any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements, especially those ones associated with the magical child, the trickster, and the orphan child, to be quantumly disentangled from Cushy's infinite quantum fields and from the fields of the collectives. Clear and cancel across all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions, because I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. And by my nature, with my own rainbow energy, I automatically transmute any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements associated with the magical child, the trickster, and with the orphan child. And I hereby quantumly disentangle these shadows from Cushy's infinite energy fields and from the fields of the collective. Clear and cancel across all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions into a boundary of light, back to source to be received, upcycled, recycled, transmuted, and returned to love. So mote it be, and so it is. Thank you so much, Cushy. I hope that was helpful for you. All right. There's another Anna. Hang on, let me get your last name. Anna Ashby. Are you still here, my friend? I would love to do a reading for you. Thank you for being so patient with me. So I'm going to shuffle, and then we'll pull these cards for Anna. Anna Ashby. Aha. That card pulled you. Like that card literally flew out. I don't know if you were able to see it. Okay, so this gossip, this is the root of the shadow work that you should be checking out today. Yeah, this person on Facebook, their name is Akani Ogunde. Yes, I see you. Somebody go report them. Or if you are an admin on my page, ban them. Yeah, they're telling other people to inbox them. And these people that like come onto my feed and try to get you to get readings from them, most of the time they're scammers and they tell you crazy ass things like you have a curse or you have some blood thing that's on you. And if you pay them money right now, they'll be able to get rid of the curse for you. They're just scammers. So like I would very much appreciate if anybody replies on my feeds and they're asking for your energy, your time, your money. They're scamming you. They're scamming you. So get rid of them, report, ban, all that good stuff. It's bad energy to do that, Akani. I am praying for you. I am praying for you. But okay, we're going to read for Anna Ashby. Anna, the root is the gossip. And then the next issue that we have is the prostitute. Oh, dang. And then let's see. this is a surface level issue, one that you should be aware of to get rid of the root of your issues. Oh, the poet. So this seems like people have hurt you through their words. That's what this seems like, Anna. That people have just either said unkind things to you, or maybe they said unkind things to you when you were a kid, or maybe in your work environment. People have said some unkind things, and that's really affected your energy configuration. So at the root of all these issues, where your focus should be for your shadow work is on this gossip shadow. And that is thriving on power of passing on private or secret information and betraying confidences. So this is for any time that people have either they've made up false information about you, or if they said things and they kind of twisted them or misinterpreted them to make you look bad, essentially. And so this is definitely asking for you to let's see if I can ban this person this way. Block user on Facebook. Yes. Okay, there we go. Hopefully that worked. I'm sorry, guys, for the spammers. But anyways, Anna Ashby, this is talking about people who have gossip about you, or who have basically created density in your life or in your experience. And yeah, they have betrayed your confidence. So maybe you feel a little bit vulnerable now. Like, oh, I don't know if I should reach out, or if I should bare my soul, or if I should get healing, or if I should tell people my story, because my words have been used against me in the past. So that's very deep energy, and that makes you feel very vulnerable. So I am witnessing the shadow of the gossip with respect and compassion. And then the next shadow we should look at is the shadow of the prostitute. Light attribute of the prostitute accentuates the challenge of surviving without negotiating the power of your own spirit, while the shadow attribute is placing material considerations and security above self-empowerment. So this could be directly related to the gossip. This could be like somebody has been basically like saying things that they shouldn't say, using your words against you, or twisting your words, and then also acting like they're so empowered, or like they're speaking their truth because they're gossiping about you, or something crazy like that. I don't know exactly what the situation is. I am more than willing to bet me just pulling these cards, you're like, yep, I know who you're talking about. But it's time to clear those shadows and return them to a state of emptiness. And then the surface level thing that you should look at is the shadow of the poet. And this is turning lyric gifts into negative or destructive effect. So this person might even be a little poetic, hypnotic, or charismatic in the way that they speak. These persons are peoples. And so remember, the light attribute of the poet is expressing insights through symbolic language. So it's good to have people who are poets in our everyday life, but we must make sure that they do not betray confidences or manipulate people through their words and their charisma. So I am witnessing, Anna, the shadows of the gossip, the prostitute, and the poet with respect, kindness, compassion, and understanding. And also the wisdom to know that we could do better in the future and return these shadows to a state of emptiness while aligning to our best timelines, best for you and for me and for the entire collective. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I am grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I am grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I am grateful for this experience. And invoking my own rainbow energy, I command and demand any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements associated with the gossip, the prostitute, or the poet to be quantumly disentangled from Anna's infinite field and from the fields of the collective. Clear and cancel across all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions, into a boundary of light, back to source to be received, upcycled, recycled, transmuted, and returned to love. So mote it be, and so it is. Ooh, that was a lot. And invoking my own rainbow energy, I automatically transmute any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements associated with the gossip shadow, the prostitute shadow, the poet shadow, and quantumly disentangle these from Anna's infinite field, clear and cancel across all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions, because I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. Clear and cancel across all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions, into a boundary of light, back to source to be received, upcycled, recycled, transmuted, and returned to love. So mote it be, and so it is. Thank you very much, Ashley, or Anna, sorry. Thank you very much, Anna. I hope that was helpful to you. So I'm going to do a closing now. I'm running out of voice because I've been live for a very long time. But I'm going to do a closing now for us. And so, Great Spirit, please go be with me and my family and our viewers and all of our viewers' family, and transmute the causes and conditions of their suffering and all of the shadows attached to it, all of the shadows that we worked on tonight, especially, so that these shadows be brought into a state of emptiness. So mote it be, and so it is. And rainbow. So anywhere that we have released density associated with the shadows and the causes and conditions of the sufferings that we have experienced, we have co-created subatomic nooks and crannies of void spaces. And into those void spaces, I hereby now intentionally and completely refill myself and all of our viewers and everybody who has watched or will watch in the future in all of our infinite fields, anywhere that we have released density with the whitest, brightest, true source, healing light, and the most liquid gold, sparkling true source, love and light. And I seal this completely, individually and collectively, with the whitest, brightest true source, healing light, the most golden, liquid, sparkling true source, love and light. And I do so from crown to soul, from back to front, from side to side, inside, outside, and all around us. And may our personal electromagnetic, etheric, and infinite causal fields vibrate and resonate with increased coherence and integrity. Great Spirit, please have mercy on all of us and help us all to align with our best and highest timeline and to transmute the causes and conditions of our suffering with a maximum grace and ease, with a perfect timing, with a perfect alignment, and in alignment with the best and highest good for ourselves and for the collective. Great Spirit, have mercy on all of us, and thank you so much for witnessing and holding space. Go be with all of us and transmute all of our suffering so that we may align with wellness and with ease. So mote it be, and so it is. A rainbow. Thank you so much.